As soon as I heard that the manager was interested and spoke to him on the phone, it was quite an easy decision. You know, when you obviously, having lived in the UK, you know the size of the club and the ambitions that they have, and speaking to ex-players and players that have played in the league, it was literally a no-brainer. And for me, from my point of view, I was trying to push it through as soon as I heard from the gaffer, and yeah, wanted to be in earlier than last week, but paperwork and bits and pieces unfortunately held that up. But yeah, like I said, hopefully be ready to go on the weekend.
Yeah, do you know much about Bradford City as a club when that initial interest arose?
I did, just through Gary Locke, who used to play in Jim Jeffries. They were obviously coaches at Hearts when I was through there, so quite close with Gary Locke, and you know, James Meredith, when he came into the Australian setup, you know, he had nothing but, you know, good positive things to say about the club. And yeah, having been a keen football geek, I guess, throughout my days, you know, growing up, when I was in Australia, Bradford was in the Premier League, and yeah, just look at season tickets, stadium, everything's kind of set up to really progress, and that's what I'm hoping to do here.
Obviously the result wasn't what we wanted at the weekend. Unfortunately, there was that frustration for you there with your paperwork not being finalised, but being in the stadium, seeing the crowd and the atmosphere, I guess, did that kind of whet your appetite for more, really? Yeah,
exactly. You know, if you could, you know, believe it's been on a bad run in January, and there's still, you know, 19,000 odd there really behind the boys, which is a huge positive for me anyway. You know, sometimes I've been in clubs, and if you're on the, you know, going through a bad spell, the you know, crowds kind of dwindle and they can get on the back of players early doors. But you know, even after we went 1-0 down, they were still trying to help us, and yeah, unfortunately we got beat 4-0, but just makes me hungrier to try and improve and help, and if selected at the weekend, get a good result.